in the pit, selling fools like ENG. Ride tossed on bus keys, we're the kings of the seven seas. Mythic Squad, we will fly high with the wings of a dragonfly. Instant return gives us powers, meet us up in the office hours. 100 bucks with us, mate, Mythic swords in my hands, 91K. Thoughts guide us through the stages while we summon mythic sages. Dark nights, spellbound, crazy. Mythic Squad will remain for the ages. Mythic Squad, no, we'll never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any ground jet. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. Mythic Squad, no, we'll never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any ground jet. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. Belong, gives us blessings.
And welcome everybody. We're back with my live show from Monday afternoon. A big welcome from your favorite Italian host 91K, Mythic Squad in the house. I hope you're having a great week. I'm pretty sure you're all super stoked about what's going to happen this week. Something we've been waiting for. 3 years or what? 3 years, yes, definitely 3 years waiting for this. Finally, we're gonna have the Colosseum live on Metis. PvP is coming, brothers. PvP is coming. So, as you can see on the screen, what we're gonna do today is something that apparently is a trend lately, making tier lists. Hey, Skiller, hope you're doing great. Can't wait to participate in every tournament, having you on my side, you and your archers on my side. What I'm gonna say today is not gonna make you super happy, but man, I can make happy everybody with this. So, what we're gonna do today we're gonna make a tier list of all the basic classes in DeFi Kingdoms for the PvP. Yes, I know what you're gonna say. Half of these classes haven't been released yet. I know. The thing that we're gonna do is ranking the classes that we got already based on the codexes we know are gonna be released. So I went on the sensei himself, the mighty Workhorse blog. I checked all the skills or all the ideas behind other classes that we don't have yet among the basic classes. So I'm not gonna go through classes we can only entirely speculate about, such as Paladins, Dark Knights, Dread Knights, Dragoons. We're gonna stay with our feet on the ground and we're gonna talk about basic classes and all the skills we know are gonna be released. Now, something important to say about this. We have seen already for the classes that have been released that the skill codex is gonna get nerfed by Hubert even before getting out of the cave, even before getting in the game. In the game, these classes that we have been already nerfed compared to what was the original idea. The original idea clearly states that those classes will be most likely nerfed before coming out. So let's start clearly with the classes we already know. So I made a little spreadsheet which I'm not gonna show you on screen, but I'm gonna have here for my personal reference. And we go doing this. The first class we're gonna talk about and we're gonna rank is the Berserker. So Berserker, super cool idea. We know that we all love it. Super unpredictable. Now it doesn't hit your characters that much as before, but still often is completely uncontrollable. That's the idea behind it. Sometimes it can build up to deal a ton of damage, but it's uncontrollable. It doesn't let you say, okay, now it's time for me to use a potion. Now it's time for me to pass a turn and wait a second. It's time for me to swap a position. You can't do any of this shit. So, how I consider the Berserker at the moment? I consider it as a C tier class. It's sad. It's super sad. We're opening this listing with a really heavy hit on the Berserkers. But guys, this is a game of control. This is a game where you need to be in control of what's happening. And when you have a Berserker, clearly you're not in control. Clearly it goes its own way and you can do shit about it. So Berserkers go into the tier list. Second class, and here I'm gonna make myself happy mostly. Second class we talk about is the warrior. Warriors are super pragmatic. You need a tank, you can build it as a tank. You need a DPS, you can build it as a DPS. You need a support, you can build it as a support. Warcry, all the type of skills that are going to buff your characters, nerf the opponent ones. Man, warriors can do everything. And even considering all the other classes, warriors will still be in meta, will still be super damaging and super tanky. So I'm gonna place warriors in a CS tier list. Man, warriors are super buffed. They can do everything. Whatever you need them to do, they do it. That's crazy good. But once we place the warrior here, now we went on the both sides of the spectrum, no? We have somebody that is completely useless and really random, and somebody who's super useful and can do everything. Let's proceed with something else. Now, this is gonna hurt so much because I love this class. I love especially my knight, but guys, knights are not performing. Especially when all of these classes are gonna be out, knights are not gonna be performing. They built to be tanks, but they don't do anything else. And as tanks, they don't even do that crazy good. Because you can build a warrior that does the same job, but at the same time is damaging, is threatening. So I'm gonna place knights into a B tier list. I know, it's sad. It's sad. I think everybody loves knights, but guys, they're not gonna go anywhere when all of these classes are gonna be out. That's sad, I know. The only cool thing about knights is that they can buff themselves, their defense, they can get in hit, they can absorb damages to other that are targeting other characters, they can absorb negative status effects, but then they can't really support, they can't really damage. And having an hero that is there just to be hit is not enough. You need something that gets hit, resist, but does something else at the same time. That said, we proceed with another class. We talk about the priest. Okay, this guy here, I'm gonna place it in an A tier list because this guy can buff your character with the bubbles he protect, but mostly he gives your HP back, but nothing else. This guy does his job best than everyone else can do. Among all these basic classes, you won't find any other class who can heal as much as the priest. That's his job. He can protect using bubbles, and he can buff using prayer or might or freedom, stuff that it's, let's be honest, can give you really, really good bonuses. Although those are not the definitive bonuses in the game. I'm pretty sure that among the other classes we're gonna find stuff that gives better bonuses, but you're not gonna find anything that can protect you or can heal you as much as the priest. Priest is a treasure class. It's something that if you fit it in the right combination of classes, is gonna be game changing. But still is not strong enough to make it to S tier. So at this point we have a class for each of the tiers because I decided to go from S tier to C tier. So A, S, A, B, C. Next class we're gonna rank. This is gonna be a really heavy hit for somebody. Next class we're gonna rank is the Seer. Seer, as I said already in previous live shows, is a class that looks super cool, has got a really cool idea behind all the prediction, foresight kind of behavior. Is really, really cool, but has got one flaws that makes them really, really less proficient than other classes. As a support, it's got great buffs, great nerfs, but doesn't heal enough and doesn't heal quick enough. So my choice is to put Seers into a B tier together with the Knights. They're cool, maybe they will find their space in some compositions of heroes, but they're not game changing. I'm sorry, I know we all love Seers, but they don't make it. Last among the classes we know, Skiller is saying, hey Beaver, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Skiller is saying Archer is SSS tier. Skiller, I said already at the beginning of this show that I'm not gonna make you happy today. And I know that you're gonna suffer and hate me for this. I know I'm not gonna make you happy. The truth is that considering the skills from all the other classes that are going to be released, and I'm gonna give you example of this. I'm not gonna just put stuff in tiers and say, this for me is gonna be good, this for me is gonna be bad. I have some skills as an example from these other classes. So what I'm gonna say is that archers will fall in an A tier list. Skiller, don't get me wrong. I know you love archers. I know that they're crazy cool. I love them as well. They're great DPS. The thing is that with all of this other stuff that is coming, and believe me, I'm pretty sure that now that the PvP is gonna be out, we're gonna get something like a new class every 2-3 weeks, no more than that. He would never hate you. He would just think less of you. Don't think less of me, man. I'm not. I'm not putting the traits in a tier list today. So I don't think it's time for you to think less of me this time. So why I put the archer in an A tier and not an S tier? And I'm gonna explain it instantly. So let's talk about another class. Yes, they are S tier for now, but what I'm doing is not a list of what we have now. Otherwise, the live show would be already over in 15 minutes. We're doing a list of all the basic classes, considering the codexes that Workhorse has posted on his blog. Lately, he's doing a lot of articles on his blog explaining the dynamics behind these classes that haven't been released. So there's a reason why we got these classes and not the others yet. The reason is that all of these other classes are based on dynamics that are not in the game yet. Spell yes plus. No, man, I'm really sorry. I agree when ninja spell comes out, I won't use a yeah. But believe me, there's stuff that is gonna come out before ninjas and spell buffs that will make you put the archers on the bench sooner than what you expect. Believe me. And now I'm gonna tell you why. What I'm gonna tell you now is which classes we're gonna get as the last. The last that we're gonna get is gonna be the monk. And I'm gonna explain you why in a little bit when we're gonna talk about the monk. Need to be playing with pirate and wizard. That will shake the tier list up in such a good way. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're gonna say now. So let's talk about the wizard. The wizard has got three dynamics that are gonna be introduced, I believe, pretty soon. uh, which are the arcane power, which is the base for all the magic classes. So wizard, scholars, summoners, sages. Probably Dark Knight will touch that as well, and spellbows will touch that as well, but I'm not sure. Mythic Standard Mark Double GS Pirate. Yeah, that's gonna be, man, that's gonna be crazy. Dread Knight before Monk. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. I believe that we're gonna get the basic classes sooner because there are dynamics that needs to be in the game as soon as possible. But the dynamics that are really cool about the monk are gonna be here as at the last, and I'll tell you why. There's a big reason why, but let me get there. Let's not rush this. So wizard, we're waiting for arcane power, we're waiting for chill and burn dynamics. I don't know if you read that on the Workhorse blog, but basically burn is a staking status effect that gives some damages over time, delayed over time. Chill is a staked status effect that gives a 5% slow each of the stakes over time. And arcane power is a pool of power that the wizard is charging up while using skills that can be consumed to empower some of his skills, and can and the pool remaining after empowering the skill is gonna determine if or not that skill is gonna have a specific power. Let me make this easier to understand with an example. So wizard are definitely gonna be S tier, guys, and now I give you an example of why that's the case. So let's take the most famous or infamous skill from the wizard, the fireball. The fireball is most likely the skill that everybody's waiting for because it's the most iconic skill from the wizard. So what does the skill say? Deal magical damage to target enemy equal to X times spell. So let's say it's gonna be one time spell plus X time the arcane power of your pool multiplied intelligence. Let's say that you have accumulated 5 arcane power. You're gonna make spell plus 5 time intelligence of damage. And with those wizards that I'm already seeing around with 70 in intelligence, we're talking about 400-500 damage easy. Easy. Then what it says, if target is already inflicted with burn, deal X% increased magical damage. So more damage. Then X plus X times the intelligence score percent chance to apply a stack of burn with magical damage equal to X time intelligence. Man, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. The number here is going astronomical. Then it's got two unlocks. What is unlock? Unlock is that power based on the pool you have in your arcane power after casting this spell. What does it mean? When the character, after casting this spell and using the arcane power, has got a still at least X charges of arcane power, daisies with an X plus X intelligence score chance. So You make that big amount of damage, then you daze target enemy. Then it's got a second unlock. If you are over a bigger amount of arcane power, or beside doing the damage, beside the percentage of possibility of dazing the opponent, there's a percentage of possibility of exhausting the opponent. And we all know how annoying the exhaust dynamic is. Let's check the chat a second. My content is ST. I hope so, man. I hope so. We are all ready for Berserker buff. I believe I'm gonna be updating this tier list very soon. Man, chill out a little. Well, you can chill or burn, depends from the spell that the wizard is casting. Guys, the thing is that with the arcane power dynamic, the wizard is gonna make a huge amount of damage. An amount of damage that is astronomical. The number is astronomical because there are too many multipliers implied in all of this. Multipliers implied. I should rap in English, guys. I should rap in English. And not only because then you can unlock extra effects. Man, this is crazy. This is an amount of damage that the archer can't do. And this is why, Skiller, I'm placing the archer in A tier and not S tier. Because the archer makes damage, has got some effects like rapid shot can cause daze, not with a huge amount of possibilities, but it can cause daze. While the wizard is programmed to make huge damages with complicated dynamics because arcane power, chill and burn, and unlocks are not gonna be that easy. He might be Italian, but this is actual levelization for sure. Yes, definitely. That's most likely. Maybe there's a hidden ADHD here, but let's be honest. What I want to say is that wizards are gonna be the most damaging class amongst all the basic classes that we have. No way out of that, guys. So let's put the wizard on the side for a second. I don't want to put here straight away another S tier class. I want to put an A tier class. You won't expect it, but the best tank among the basic classes is for sure the Legionnaire. I don't know if you read the codex for the Legionnaire, but let's talk about one of the skills. The skill is called Look at Me. What does it do? It's like interception. Skillers archer are an S tier, that's most likely true. It's like interception from the knight. Redirect X% of all attacks targeting allies, plural, so not just one behind them, to D0 for a duration of X. Gain X% riposte for a duration of X. If Scutum Show, which is one of the skills, was used on D0's last turn, gains an additional X% riposte for a duration of X. So what does this mean? Basically, the Legionnaire is the same thing as the Knight, identical, basically a tank who's gonna redirect damage and status effect on him, but has got riposte on every attack. Has got a lot of skills that are gonna give riposte. What does riposte do? Basically, riposte is gonna make return damage on the attacker. So they attack you, they get damaged back. It's like retaliate, basically. It's like when you have the York shield and they attack you and get back a percentage of the damage. So basically, the more you attack them, the more you hit the tank, which is what you're planning to make them do when you intercept, basically, the more they get damaged back. And it's a constant. So because of this, I believe that they're gonna be incredibly better than the knight in doing the same job. Yeah, archers still perform really well, and that's why I'm placing them in an A tier and not in a B tier. Because they will still perform, they will not perform as well as the wizard. The wizard is gonna be, guys, something else. So let's proceed with another of these classes. I'm gonna leave this for the last. Okay, probably my favorite amongst the classes that we're gonna release, that we're gonna have, the pirate. I was planning to place the pirate in an S tier, but then I looked at the wizard and I said, okay, there's really no comparison here. Yeah, clicking this to show with the DFK team. Yeah, you can do that. So I love pirates and I love their skills. Some of them are really, really funny. This is planned to be the funniest class among all of them. I was thinking of putting them into an S tier, but I decided to not do that. My girlfriend is stealing my candies right now in the meanwhile. I decided to put them in an A tier. Why? I'm gonna read you a skill. This is most likely the best skill among all of their skills. Unlucky Jenkins. Unlucky Jenkins. Basically, unsheath a cutlass and roll a d20. It's the only class that has got this dynamic of the d20. Really, really D&D style. Slash target enemy dealing physical damage equal to X, where X is X time the result of the d20, multiplied the basic attack, plus X time strength, plus X time luck. And it's got Pierce. Man, this is gonna be so much fucking damage altogether. Because if you roll 2 on the d20, it's at 20 faces die. You roll only 2. You're doing twice your basic attack value plus strength plus luck. Let's hypothetically believe that this attack has got only 1 time strength, 1 time luck. Okay, so we are minimizing it. If this guy at level 20 gets to 40 strength, 40 luck, which is nothing compared to other heroes we built to be luck and strength based, such as archers. We got archers with 60, 65 luck at that level. But let's say that they get only 40 and 40. You're doing 80 damage just for the stats, plus twice your basic attack. Let's say your basic attack is 50 with a gore sword, something silly. You're doing already 200 damage like that. And this skill has got no amnesia. Which means you can do it every time. Imagine if you roll 20 to that d20 and you get 20 times your basic attack plus strength plus luck. You're doing 900 damage just like that. Also it says, if this hero casts a pirate code ability last turn, gain X% plus X time the strength score, chances to inflict bleed for a duration of X. Man, pirates will slap. Not all the skills are as good as this one. This is really the top tier skill that I found in the codex. But still, we're talking about something that really, really makes damage here. This skill is gonna slap so fucking hard, guys. Imagine rolling 20 and making 20 times your basic attack with a weapon like a gore sword that can make 125 damage. Man, you're doing 2000 damage just like that. This is unrealistic. I'm pretty sure this skill is gonna get nerfed somehow. They're gonna change this d20 dynamic because it's definitely too much, guys. It's impossible. Okay? Now let's talk about and I read all of the skills. The other ones like the skills based on the blunderbuss are really cool because they got a dispel effect over the bubbles. They basically removes automatically all the bubbles. So say goodbye to the utility of priests and scholars and sorry and seers when that comes out because they just shoot one hit of blunderbuss and you don't have any more bubbles around any of your heroes. Basically that makes useless all the dynamics of protection that we are used to. Believe me, guys, now everybody's using bubbles. I remember people doing the challenge of who gets the biggest bubbles. Guys, forget them. Start to be prepared because once the pirate is in, you can forget about bubbles. Now, let's talk about another really interesting class. This one is the scholar. So scholar is most likely said to be the class with the biggest amount of nerfs and buffs, and it's gonna be like a lesser proficient wizard. I decided to place the scholar in a B tier. Originally, reading Workhorse blog, I was like, oh, maybe this is A tier. This is gonna be really a powerful class. This is gonna be the shit. Instead, no. Unfortunately, I don't believe that because compared to all the other classes, it's not gonna perform that well. At least that's what I believe now. I'm gonna read this skill. This skill is the best that I found in the codex. It's called Glimpse the Void, which is really nihilist, really like niche. Empowers this skill by consuming X charges of arcane power. So scholars are gonna come together with wizards because they're both based on arcane power, which is a dynamic we don't have yet in the game. Channel for the duration of X. During channel gains X% evasion. Deal magical damage to target enemy in position 1 equal to X times the arcane power you consumed multiplied per the spell plus X time intelligence. This is like a fireball basically. If you have spell 60 like more or less most of the level 20 classes, you're gonna consume 5 arcane power points for this. You're gonna make already 300 damage plus X time intelligence. So the enemy in position 1 is gonna get blasted by this. Then there's an X plus X time arcane power percent possibility of causing fear. Whoever plays the Bokhans knows how annoying the status effect fear is because you can do any skill that causes physical damage for a duration of X. Then it's got an X plus X time arcane power percent chance to exhaust this hero for a duration of X. So you cast it, you cause fear, you make a ton of damage, but then you might get exhaust. Then this skill has got two unlocks. The first one has got the possibility of causing stun effect to the target of the skill. The second one, which is the big unlock, has got the chance to deal magical damage equal to the same thing of the basic skill to target enemy in position 2. So not only on target on position 1, you might target the one in position 2 as well. Crazy good. This is the best skill that there is in the codex. All the other skills are heal, damage in a really reduced way, or nerf. Nerf like give the status effect that give that status effect to the opponent. This skill Glimpse the Void has got an Amnesia X, so most likely you're gonna make it if you're gonna manage to make it because there's a channel involved. And then you can do it again most likely in 3-4 turns, not before that. Because of this, I decided to place the Scholar in a B tier list. Good, really cool skills, but not as good as a wizard, not as performing as a priest. So, nice support. Next thing you know, Amnesia 4. Yeah, Amnesia 4. Yeah, definitely this is gonna be Amnesia 4. This is gonna be the skill with Amnesia 4 for that class. So, nice support, can damage, can heal, but can't do any of these things really well as much as other classes. It's an all-rounder, but not an all-rounder like the warrior that can do everything you set it up to do. An all-rounder like Seer. Seer have got Warstone that causes a ton of damage. Seer have got Chrono Purge is gonna cause a lot of damage. It's gonna nerf people because it's gonna slow them. But it doesn't do any of the things that it does amazingly. It's in the middle. Does this, that, and that. but none of those that well. So I decided to place it in a B tier. Let's go to the last two basic classes, the one that most likely a lot of people is waiting for. I'm gonna talk first about the thief because the thief it sounds really cool. So let's do this game. I'm gonna read one of the really cool skills from the thief, and you're gonna in the chat try to guess in which tier I'm gonna place the thief. This skill is called Miasma Bomb. Deal physical damage equal to X time basic plus X time dex plus X time luck to all enemies divided evenly. So we're talking about a set amount of damage, not individual, but that targets everybody. Otherwise, this would have been too much because we all know that basically which stat you're gonna raise on a thief: luck, dexterity, strength, the three, and then agility, of course, because you want them to act pretty fast. But generally speaking, this is what you're gonna buff, no? So basic is gonna determine your basic attack. Dexterity is a thief, has got a great growth, is gonna have at least 40 50 dexterity at level 20, we all know that. Luck luck somebody's saying S tier. Let's see. Luck, we all know that we all try to put that greater luck stone of all the archers when on all the thieves when we can, because we all like that luck stats. Now what does this skill do? X plus X time luck score percent chance to blind all enemies. So everybody physical accuracy reduced. Fuck your amulets. Eternal Zenith, I'm talking to you. X time plus X time the luck score percent of chance of causing poison to all enemies. You know how cool is when you do poison blade and the opponent is there trying to use anti-poison potions or to use cleansing abilities in order to save their heroes because poison is really annoying. Imagine if in one turn all of their team members are poisoned, all of them, all together, and they gotta spend a turn with each of them using 6 points of their battle budget in potions to remove the poison from all of them. Man, this is this is incredible. This is really annoying. Then there's another cool thing that is X plus X% the luck score percent chance for all party members to gain untargetable for a duration of X. Which means they cannot do anything. They are literally forced to spend their next turn to anti-poison themselves and anti-blind themselves. Now, this said, I believe that we're gonna get cleansing potion, a potion that removes all the negative effect at once. Because, man, this is too much. If I can put every status effect at once on all of your heroes, you need something that remove all the effects at once. It's not possible that only the purification from the priest is gonna be the answer to this. Otherwise, man, it's too much. Something that the thief does is having passive and active skills that steal the battle budget from the opponent. So reduce the amount of potion they can use and increase the amount of potion you can use, which is already another dynamic that is unfair to me. Then there's a sabotage status effect, which we don't really know yet. Probably if I'm gonna go in the compendium with all the explanation of words, I'm gonna find there's something, but we don't have this status effect yet in the game, so we don't know yet. This is why I believe that thieves are gonna come later in the game. Another skill of the thief is placing a trap on one of your heroes where that gets activated when that hero gets attacked, and it's gonna cause poison again, and damage and blindness on the attacker. So imagine you have a legionnaire that is going to have passive and active skills that are gonna give him retaliate and repose. So when he gets attacked, it makes damage back, and then he uses that skill. Look at me that we were talking about before. That is like interception. Saboteur thieves are consuming your opponent inventory stone versus less damage. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. So basically, what you can do is placing a trap on your legionnaire that intercepts, so it gets the attack, one or taunts, whatever you prefer. I think legionnaire has got a skill that taunts the whole opponent team, just like that. Imagine it gets attacked, the trap goes in, poison and damage and blind, and then you even repost the damage. Man, it's gonna make really difficult for your opponent to target anything or to deal damage to something that is not your legionnaire without getting damaged back. That said, I really believe that, as you're saying in the chat, guys, we all know that thieves are gonna be our last S tier class. Guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, what they can do, what they plan to do, man, it's a lot. It's really a lot. Last class that we're gonna run today is the monk. Now, I'm gonna read you a skill from the monk that I really liked, and you're gonna tell me here in the chat. We do the same game. You're gonna tell me why I believe that this is gonna be the last class that is gonna come to the game. Let's see who's gonna guess this right. The skill is called Sorting Palm. I don't know if I'm reading it correctly. What does it do? It repositions the monk to position 1. Why? I don't know. Deal physical damage to each target enemy equal to basic attack plus dexterity plus strength. We all know that monks have a decent stats grow on everything. So most likely dexterity and strength are gonna be pretty nice. Then it's got the next plus dexterity score x times plus wisdom score x time percent chance to disarm target in enemy position 1, target in enemy position 2, and target in enemy position 3. Disarming, guys. Think about the status effect. Disarming. If ready stance is active, gain cleanse all party members. This is random, like that. They put you poison, blind, the thieves. The monk is there to cleanse everybody. That's cool. That's a cool status effect. But this is most likely the best skill the monk has got. Disarm definition. Target's current weapon set is unusable next turn. Target automatically swaps to its alternative weapon set. Target gains 100% resistance to disarm until target's next turn. Also interrupts. Okay, this skill is really good. But what does swapping to the alternative weapon set mean? Means that we will need to have the subclasses active, because we know now that swapping weapon set means taking out the weapons from the subclasses set, which means that in order to get this skill functioning, we need to have subclasses active. And this is why I believe that this class is gonna be the last one we get. Because when we get the monk, we will have most likely all the basic classes. So we will be able to have the subclasses of all the basic classes active. Let's think about this. They probably even mentioned that the monk is gonna come last, and this because of this reason, guys. Don't get me wrong, disarming every opponent, interrupting them. Imagine that you got heroes built to like skillers archers, okay? High dexterity, high agility, high luck, Dread Knight subclass. And then you swap those bows to a big sword energy that they can't really use because their strength value is low. And then what you do? Sorry, Skiller, I'm using your. Hey, Starbucks, finally you're back. Skiller, I'm sorry, I'm using your archers as an example because I know you have that super cool archer Dread Knight hero. But imagine what happens if all of a sudden they can use the bow for 2-3 turns. That's why I believe that in this bigger picture of the meta, archers can't be really an S tier class because there the subclass is gonna play a big role, which right now is not doing. Like switching weapon in Counter Strike or PUB. I don't know because I didn't play both of them. You might have time to cry. Yeah, you have time to cry. It's the duration of X of the disarm, basically. That's the amount of time you have to cry. That said, most of the skills from the yeah, archer is the only solution. You're right. Pure archers are the solution. Guys, remember that every class has got a special ability that is the 15 points ability that is unlocked only if you have matching class subclass. And that's why I went for a pure priest because pure priests are the only class, the only hero that has got resurrection without having to be summoned by beaver, which is translated in without having the trait resurrection. They are the only class who's got resurrection by themselves, pure priests. This is an example. Archer most likely have got a super crazy good ballistic skill that they can use. But that said, monks have got this super cool skill with the disarm, but then they got a whole bunch of skills that do stun, stun if they're lucky, because it's always a percentage of possibility that that happens. That makes me believe that eventually they're gonna fall in a C tier class. I like them, the idea is super cool, but they don't do that much damage, they don't do that much status effect, they don't heal, they don't protect, they do nothing, they just daze the enemy if they're lucky. That said, this is our classes tier list, basic classes tier list. I know, we all know that this tier list is gonna be revisited pretty soon when we will actually have these classes out. We all know that these classes are gonna be nerfed before coming to light, but what I really believe is that we're gonna get them really soon. This Wednesday PvP is out. We're gonna start to play with the selling my monk. No man, don't sell it because it's never said. I will wait for it to come out first and then saying okay, we can sell it. I have a greater agility stone monk as well because I believe that it's gonna find a role in the game. Probably with some buff, with some balance patch. This list is gonna change, but let's wait to see what happens. Guys, from Wednesday, that the PvP is out, believe me, we're gonna get these classes in no time. I'm sure 100%. I believe that they're gonna start to be like every 2 weeks there's a release of a class. Then the week after there's gonna be a balance change because we're gonna see in PvP what happens and what not. Because it's not gonna be uh, just the developer team playing or just the content creator players playing like it happened in the last 2 months when we had the content creator weekends. It's gonna be a shitload of people playing every day on a Metis blockchain. So they're gonna complain, oh, this skill from this class is too strong, this other class is shit. Shout out to the most mythic squad of them all. Shout out to the most mythic boss of them all, which is you, Starbucks. I can't wait to have you back. Believe me, we've been waiting for months now. We all hope you're doing better, that you managed to sort out your personal issues. We love you, man. We love you. We really wait for you. We're waiting for you. And you somehow chosen the best time ever to be back because you're back with PvP release, which is what I believe you've been waiting for 3 years as well. So guys, let's wait for this Wednesday. Let's all put our heroes for the influence system because I believe that's gonna play a role. Personally, another thing that I've done, I'm gonna say to you following the stream, don't share this too much. I opened the liquidity pool gold jewel because I believe that with the introduction of the bring your own weapon system, which is like bring your own potion basically, we're gonna have a huge use case for gold. I was watching a tweet the other day. Somebody was calculating the amount of gold that is gonna be used from the players if they only buy 3 weapons and 3 armors. Let's say that they only buy that for their heroes, for 3 of their heroes basically. So 3 weapons, 3 armors. We're gonna burn more or less the 15% of the whole gold supply in the game. And I know that we all play hunts mostly, maybe not beaver, me starting now, but we all know that hunts are a really remunerative way of playing the game. We talked about it last week in last stream when we were saying that there's players like Alex the King, aka Majin, making more than $1,000 a month just playing hunts because he wins he wins the raffles, he sells the weapons that he gets there. Um, Imagine going to do the hunts nerfed because you don't have got those weapons anymore. I'm pretty sure that we all are gonna buy a set of weapon for each of our heroes. So if you have at least 20 teams of hub for the hunts, you're gonna most likely buy 60 weapons and 60 armors. Which means, man, that we're gonna buy most likely the 40% of the whole gold supply, which is getting burned already because we're burning it for the potions. So guys, don't sleep on gold. Gold is gonna fly high a lot all of a sudden. Really a lot. I bought some 100 jewels of gold and placed them in a liquidity pool because I know that there's gonna be a shitload of transaction from this Wednesday. Same thing for that equip. I was complaining that I got some equip on sales like the charger mask. Now imagine that fireball from the wizard getting a 20% damage buff because of the charger mask. Guys, don't let's not sleep on that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see from this Wednesday all those equipment fly away from the tavern because people is gonna buy it. New people is gonna come in, they're gonna understand the game, they're gonna understand that the more equipment you have, the more damage and the more victory you're gonna make. And we're gonna have tournaments pretty soon. Actually, we have already tournaments because from Wednesday the GLC from Jewelers is starting. Shout out to Mega for that. The Magic tournament is gonna start. Shout out to my man Sticks intern for that. So guys, buckle up, get ready. This is the 91k classes, basic classes tier list. Let's see if this is gonna be real or it's gonna change with the release of the classes. I'm gonna see you in the Colosseum from Wednesday. I can't wait to battle you all, friends and foe, brothers and enemies. I'm gonna see you soon. Thank you for following the stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel from YouTube. Have a mythic week. I'll see you Wednesday.